Hi guys, welcome to my vlog 6 where I'm going to be reflecting upon one of my coaching sessions and what can I improve on to benefit the athlete more. In this particular session, I am coaching this athlete who is relatively new to weightlifting, some variations of a snatch in order to work on his technical limitations of the movement. After viewing the footage, I have picked up on a couple of things that I could improve on as a coach and which in turn would benefit the athlete. But in my opinion, the most important two things to consider would be me myself limiting the frequency of feedback and cues I give to an athlete, as well as listening to athlete's feedback after the lift. As an example, in this clip we can see and hear that a more concise explanation of an exercise would benefit the athlete with better understanding of performing the exercise for the first time.
Like the first bit from the last bit, so without catching, actually just trying to overload the actual pulling motion. Right, so what you try to do is just the first bit, you still do the same exact thing, you still get the contact and just launch it up, and you still get the triple extension. So pretty much your end position is going to be on your tiptoes, completely extended knees and completely extended hips. It's like, and yeah, exactly the same. Try to get your elbows up as well.
On top of complex explanation, I could have demonstrated how to perform the movement for a couple of reps before an athlete actually gave it a try. In my opinion, explaining how to do the movement as well as demonstrating how to do the movement can be of a huge benefit to an athlete, as human beings can be extremely successful in duplicating the movement that they see right in front of them. But then at the same time, I do consider that trial and error can be of a huge benefit to an athlete's motor pattern development and athlete's development as a whole. Here in the second video we see some improvement. I'm actually demonstrating the movement for a couple of reps before athlete gets his hands on it, and the communication this time is two-way rather than me just explaining how the movement is performed. I'm explaining it and taking into consideration athlete's feedback of what he actually understands from my explanation. I think this is a huge improvement.
Where the a muscle snatch is just this, so without actual hips launching the bar up. So you still get some momentum and acceleration through here, and then just go up. So you don't. Yeah. So without you don't actually get the contact up here to launch the bar up with your hips. So it's it's pretty much using your upper body to get up, upper body and that acceleration that you just got. Yeah. Let's try that out.
Taking athlete's feedback into consideration while explaining the exercise, as well as taking athlete's feedback straight after performing the exercise, might be of huge benefit to performance development, as the further cues and further explanations or even adjustments to the movement going to be more individualized for that particular athlete, which leads to performance development within the actual movement and within the actual limitations of an athlete. On top of that, providing an athlete with a continuous, frequent feedback and number of cues might not be as beneficial as it sounds. It might be really hard for an athlete to process all of those cues that his coach just gave him while trying to perform an exercise that lasts less than 1 or 2 seconds. Therefore, I think that limited amount, like 1 or 2 cues, might be of a more benefit than an excessive amount of them. Because at that point, an athlete can only think about those 1 or 2 things while performing a movement. And as I mentioned before, trial and error, while an athlete is performing the movement while thinking about those 1 or 2 cues, even though he might not be doing it correctly, he might pick up those technical limitations and try to sort them out, try to fix them within his own capacities and understanding of the movement. So wrapping everything up, I think the main two aspects that I would like to improve as a coach the most would be limiting the feedback and amount of cues I give to an athlete while trying to explain how to perform the movement, as well as try to listen to an athlete, to athlete's feedback right after performing the exercise just a little bit more. Thank you.